Okay, I'll give you the meaning. Decent means the good language, right? Uh, yeah, decent language and good behavior are very important. So to be a good citizen, right? We find both good and bad in our society. When we talk about the society, when we think about the society, so right? But always we should try to have good things. Good citizens always add qualities to lives. So as good citizens, we should have good qualities. I told you that as citizens, as Sri Lankans, as people, we have good qualities as well as bad qualities too. Okay, but we should inculcate only good qualities in our lives. So that's why we are going to study this lesson. The responsibility of a good citizen is to protect the resources of the motherland and dedicate oneself to safeguard its dignity. So there is a main responsibility as a citizen. We should protect the resources of the motherland. What do you mean by resources? Yeah. Can anyone? Yeah.
Sampat.
Right. Yes. We should protect the resources of our motherland and dedicate oneself to safeguard its dignity. You know what's dignity, right? Abhimane. So we should protect our resources and we should dedicate ourselves. Dedicate means what is the noun form of dedicate? Yeah, Minoli. Yeah, what is the noun form of dedicate? The verb is dedicate. The noun is dedication. Right? Okay. Apart from the qualities mentioned above, being loyal and righteous are also considered virtuous. So we should have all these qualities. Apart from that, we should be loyal. What do you mean by loyal? And righteous. What do you mean by righteous? Yeah, I hope you are write down the difficult words in your textbook, okay? What do you mean by righteous? Yuktigaruka vennoni. We should identify these qualities and add them to our lives. So to be a good citizen, we should take these qualities into our lives. We should add them to our lives. So if we have all these qualities, then we can be a good citizen. Okay. Then we are able to show the world that Sri Lanka is a country of virtuous citizens. That means if all of we are combined with all these good qualities, then the whole country may be a virtuous country. So that means each and every people may be good citizens. Okay, right. So then after that, we have a subtopic, practicing polite language. What do you mean by polite? Polite means? Yeah, polite. Vinita. Right? Polite means Vinita. What is the opposite word of polite? Opposite word? Impolite. Impolite, right? Impolite. That's the opposite word. Avinita. So here we are going to discuss why should we practice polite language. Okay. Uh, what do you like? If your mother is calling you just like Ute Mehen, so likewise, you like that. When she is talking, Kele Mehena mother, so likewise, you don't like that one. So that's why we should use polite language, right? To make a good connection with each other, we should use the polite language. You have lots of examples using polite language, right? So you get the opportunity to associate with friends in your classroom as well as in your school. So that means you have various various kinds of friends in your classroom, even in your school too. You met. Then similarly, you have to associate with various types of people at home as well as in society. So not only in classes, so you may have to associate. What do you mean by associate? Right? With our friends as well as various kinds of people. When we are living in house, so that means in your house you may have you may have your grandparents, aunties, uncles, and all that. So they are different from each other. Different kinds of talking ways, they are different. Then think about the people you associate with. Remember how you got to know each other. So sometimes you may have asked their names, your classmates. So sometimes you may have asked their name, village, age, siblings, and many more details, and vice versa. So sometimes when you meet a friend at once, so you may ask, what's your name, please? I am blah, blah, blah here, right? So sometimes you may ask their names and their villages and how many brothers and sisters do you have? What do you like to eat? What do you like to drink? So likewise, you may get the details of other students, other friends. Then you may remember how you talk to them using very pleasant words. So that is a very important point. When you associate all these friends and people, so what kinds of words you should use? Yeah, we should use the polite words or the pleasant words. Prasanna vachan, right? So all of we like to hear the pleasant words. කවුරුත් කැමති නෑනේ බැනලා අඬ ගහනවට. නේ? හොඳින් ආදරෙන් අඬ ගහනවා නම් තමයි කැමති. Okay? So that's why we say we should use pleasant words to make connections with each other. අන්න එතකොට හොඳ සම්බන්ධතාවයක් පවත්වා ගන්න පුළුවන්. කවුරු හරි හොඳින් කතා කරොත් ඔයගොල්ලන් එයාට ආදරෙයි. You see, your mother, when she is blaming, you don't like. When she is praising you, my little daughter, my little son, so come here like this, so you like it. So that's why, as human beings, always we should use pleasant words. Okay, it is possible that polite or pleasant words, we can make that connection as a great bond. හොඳ බැඳීමක් එක්ක අපිට ඒ සම්බන්ධකම් තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. අපි හොඳ වචන කතා කරොත්. Because they like you. Right. If you had not used such words, ඔයගොල්ලෝ ළඟ තියෙන impolite වචන නම්, unpleasant වචන නම්, අප්‍රසන්න නම්, අවිනීත නම් කතා කරනකොට, there would not be such a good relationship. අර වගේ relationship එකක් හැදෙනවද? හැදෙනවද දිනේත්‍රා? හැදෙනවද එහෙම relationship එකක්? No, right? So we don't like unpleasant words or impolite words. So especially as children, you like polite words as well as pleasant words. All right. If it is so, you would have only a few friends. එහෙම impolite නම් unpleasant නම් ඔයගොල්ලන් ඉන්නේ යාළුවෝ චුට්ටයි. ඒ විදිහටම ඉන්න යාළුවෝ ටිකක් විතරයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට එකතු වෙන්නේ. Right? There are only a few friends. To be a good friend among friends and to be in the hearts of your family members as a virtuous individual, you should practice polite language. Again and again, I'm telling you the summary of this part is using polite language or the pleasant words inculcate good quality in your life. So that means it will help you to make good connections with others as well as your friends and then your family members. So that's the summary. Right? Using polite words and pleasant words. Okay, so then after that, you have a sub point again. Features of polite words. One of the polite word speech lakshana features or the characteristic. All right. The first one is discipline in speech. What do you mean by discipline?
ගරු කරනවා.
Oh, garu karanawa. Discipline. Discipline students means?
විනය.
Yeah, vinaya. හොඳ හැදියාවක් තියෙන, right? So discipline in speech. So we know that, right? අපි හොඳ ප්‍රසන්න වචන කතා කරනවා නම් එතකොට අපේ විනය හොඳයි. That's the thing, discipline in speech. After that, express clear and correct ideas. If you have a polite language or a pleasant language, so the message you are giving, right? Or the message you are expressing, so that is clear and correct. The third one, respect others. So likewise, so they will respect you. You can be a respectable person if you use polite language or a pleasant language. Then the next one is adopt correct posture when speaking. What do you mean by posture? Yeah. Posture means posture when speaking. The way we are talking with principal or the teachers and the way we are talking with friends is quite different. You see, when we are talking with your principal or maybe the class teacher or the subject teachers, so can you can you put your hand on their neck around and can you talk with them like that? Talking with your principal and you are sitting on his lap. So likewise, can you talk with them? No, right? So that is different. So you should have correct postures when you are talking with all these respectable person. Right? Principals office. So that is the way that you are talking with them. But when you meet your friends, so likewise, so likewise you are talking. So that's why we say you must use correct postures when we are talking with different kinds of people. When you are talking about your mother and father, එතකොට අම්මා බනිනවනේ. කොහොමද ඔය තාත්තත් එක්ක කතා කරන්නේ? So likewise, so that is different. And then the next one is listen to others and speak patiently. So when someone is talking with you, you should listen to him very patiently. Right? You should listen to them patiently and speak them with them patiently too. As a great example, when you are talking with your parents, so when you are talking with them, I mean that in a rough manner, so likewise, they are blaming you. You see? And then the next one, do not misuse language. When you are talking with each other, you can't misuse the language. After that, maintain he or she is a very honest person. බය නැතුව ඇස් දෙක දිහා බලන් කතා කරන්න. හොර වැඩක් කරලා නම් තමයි බිම බලාගෙන හොරෙන් බල බල හොර බලල්ලු වගේ කතා කරන්නේ. You see? So that's why when you are talking with each other, you should have the eye contact. Eye contact එක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට කතා කරන කෙනාට ඔයාගෙන විශ්වාසය ඇති වෙනවා. It will create the trustworthiness with you. Okay? And then after that, identify where to talk and where not to. කොතනදද කතා කරන්න ඕනේ, කොතනදද කතා කරන්න ඕනේ නැත්තේ. අම්මලා බයිනවා, right? අම්පැන්න නේද මැද්දට ලොකු අය කතා කරන තැන. ලොකු අය කතා වලට පයින්නවා නේද මැදින්. So likewise, we should think where should we talk and where should not we talk. කොතනදද කතා කරන්න ඕනේ, කොතනදද කතා කරන්න ඕනේ නැත්තේ. දැන් මෙතනදී කතා කරන්න ඕනේ ඔයගොල්ලන්, right? Because we are having a class. Okay? All right. So if you use language knowing the person whom you are going to speak and what the situation and place is. The other thing is we should think about the person that we are going to speak with or talk with. අපි දැන් කවුරු එක්කද කතා කරන්න යන්නේ. එයා එක්ක කතා කරනකොට කොහොමද ඉන්න ඕනේ. ඊළඟට කොතනදද අපි කතා කරන්නේ? මත එක්කද නැත්නම් ක්ලාස් එකේ යාළුවෙක් එක්කද? I will give you more examples here. The first one you see, language should be used to suit the individual and place. කොහොමද පුද්ගලයාගෙන් පුද්ගලයාට අපි කතා කරන්න විදිය වෙනස් වෙන්නේ. You see? The first one is according to the situation. Situation means අවස්ථාව. අවස්ථාවට අනුව අපි කතා කරන විදිය වෙනස් වෙනවා. The first one is weddings and receptions. You see, we have attended to a wedding and we will meet many friends. Then ඔගලන් පන්සල් ගිහින් වගේ හිමීට කතා කරනවා කොහොමද ආවේ කොහෙද යන්නේ. So likewise, no, you are in a very joyful manner, right? Hi, how are you? හරි කොහොමද ආවේ, right? හරියට වලස්සනයි. So likewise, you are talking with each other. So you are in a happy mood in that case. The second one is sports and special functions. When we will see, right, you are in a sports meet. Okay? Then on a යාළුවෙක් running race එකකට ඉන්නවා. So how can you clap clap him? Hooray, hooray, hooray. හරි දිනේත්‍රා දුවන්න. So likewise, are you in a very sorrowful mood? No, right? You say hooray, hurry up, come on. You are clapping your hands and then you are jumping. You are running here and there. So that is the way that you are behaving in that case. Very loud voice, you are clapping and you are screaming. The next one is funerals. What about the funerals? කෙනෙක් මරුණා අපි හිනාවි මල ගෙදරකින් කතා කරනවද? You see, අම්මෝ මරුණා හරි හොඳයි. So likewise, no. We are in a sorrowful mood, right? So I'm very sorry, right? My great sympathies. So likewise, you are lamenting. That's the way of talking in funerals. And then after that, debates and discussions. What do you mean by debates? Debate එකක් කියන්නේ. Yeah. Dinetra, what do you mean by debate? Yeah. විවාදයක්. The way we අඩම කියනවා වගේ විවාදයක් කරනවා ඩිබේට් එකක් යන්නද නැද්ද? එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන් ඩිබේට් එක කරනවා මෙහෙම. ඉංග්‍රීසි මීඩියම් කරන එක හොඳයි. ඉතින් එහෙම අපිට ගොඩක් වාසි තියෙනවා. So likewise, no, you are in an arrogant mood, right? It's good. So likewise, you may have a loud voice to express your views. So that's the way of making a debate. නැතුව අපි පන්සිල් ගන්නවා වගේ හිමීට ඩිබේට් කරන්නේ නැහැ. All right? The next one, public speech. අපි මොනවා හරි පොදුවේ කාට හරි කතා කරනකොට especially the radio stations or the television programs or in newspapers, magazines and amplifiers. කොහොමද රේඩියෝ එකේ අපි මේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කතා කරන විදිහට කවුරු හරි මේ program එකකට ඇවිදilla මේ අපි කතා කරන විදිහට ඔහි කතා කරනවා. All right? So they have to get ready for that. Especially as an announcer, you think the way that the announcer is talking or expressing his views So that is different. All right, children. The next topic is according to the place. තැනින් තැනටත් අපි කතා කරන විදිය වෙනස්. Right? The first one is religious places. ආගමික ස්ථානවලදී කොහොමද කතා කරන්නේ? අපි පන්සලට when we go to the temple or the church or the kovil or the mosque, how can we talk with each other? Yes, Mindula? When you go to, yeah, Mindula? When you go to temple, how can you talk with each other? Huh? Can you scream in the temple? යටගිරි හූ කියලා කෑ ගහලා කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් පන්සලේදී? No, right?
No.
In a very, I mean, that's a very disciplined manner. හොඳ හැදියාවක් තියෙන නේ අපි හාමුදුරුවන්ට ගිහලා කතා කරනවා හාමුදුරුවනේ කොහෙද ඊයේ ගියේ? So likewise, no, right? කොහෙද වැඩි? So like, okay, so the language is different from place to place. පන්සලේ කතා කරන විදිය වෙනස්. ඒ විදියට නෙමෙයි අපි classroom එකේ කතා කරන්නේ. Likewise, the next one, home, school, road, bus, train. Right? So in that case, we will associate with very normal people. I mean, that our friends and then our family members. So we can talk with them in a close manner, not like with the religious leaders and all that. Then the wedding, all right, he is not a priest. So that's why we should use such kind of language in religious places, and it is totally different from the language that we are using in house, classroom, school, so likewise. And then the next one is mass communication. Again, you have radio, television, likewise. The way you are talking with in that case is different from the way you are talking in religious places and all that. Right? The next one is according to the individual. The first one is clergyman or priest. So I gave you that example first. So I described it. Now you know it. The vocabulary that you are using in that case is different from one another. The next one, parents. So when you are talking about with your parents, so you should talk with them in a respectable manner, not like with your friends. But that is not the respectable way that you should talk with them. Right? And then teachers and elders. Again, when you are talking with your teachers and all that, so you should talk. So likewise, can you talk with them? No. And then after that, friends and visitors. When you meet your friends, you are very free. So that means those are your parallel age people. There is no very great, very rough bonds with them. No barriers. Right? You can talk with them as you like. Okay, so there are many advantages you get when you use polite language and also disadvantages. And a polite language language impolite right? There are many occasions where you are not practicing it. Read the following table and think whether you have had the same experience. Whether you have these kinds of experience in your life. We will see. You have a table, page number 63 in your textbook. Right, page number 63. The first column is good in polite language. You see, polite language. The first one, receive others' respect. Right? Anitaye respect ka hamba වෙනවා. අනිත් ගරු කරනවා නේ ළමයා හොඳ හැදියාවක් තියෙන විදිහට හොඳට කතා කරන ළමයි. right? The next one, good connections, right? හොඳ සම්බන්ධතාවයක් හැදෙනවා. යාළුවෝ ඔයගලන්ට ආස වෙනවා, right? අනේ හොඳට කතා කරනවා සෞම්‍යනවා. Right? එයා හරි හොඳයි. හොඳ වචන තමයි කතා කරන්නේ. So likewise. So they will respect you. Teacher කෙනෙක්ගෙන් ඇහුවත් කියයි අනේ ඕ මිනෝලි හොඳට කතා කරන ළමයි. නරක වචන මුකුත් කියන්නේ. So likewise. And then after that, improve leadership qualities. To be a good leader, you should use the language in polite way. මොකද leader කතා කරන විදිහට තමයි අනිත් අය follow කරන්නේ. Leader හොඳ නැති වුණොත් so his or her followers may be not good. That means to be a good leader, you should use the polite language. අකෝ කියනකම තමයි අනිත් අය වාට ආදරය වෙනවා. හරි. අනේ හොඳට කතා කරන ළමයි මෙයා නම් හරිම හොඳයි. So likewise you can win others' hearts. And then after that, be able to build up good personal contacts. හොඳ පෞද්ගලික සම්බන්ධතා පවත්වා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාට යාළුවෝ වැඩි වෙනවා. ඔයා හොඳට කතා කරන ළමයි. ඔයාගේ කතා කරන විලාසය, the way that you are speaking is good. So then it will create, so that means you may have thousands of friends. After that, get more opportunities to gain benefits. විවිධ වාසි ලබා ගන්න ගොඩාක් අවස්ථා හම්බ වෙනවා. You see, so that means you are applying for the prefect board in your school, right? So your teachers or your principal maybe call upon you for an interview. So when you face that interview, if you are using an impolite language, right, what will they say? Will they select you as a prefect? No, never. So they will reduce your marks. ලකුණු අඩු කරනවා. අපෝ මේ ළමයට කතා කරන්න දන්නේ නැහැ. Right? හොඳ හැදියාවක් නැහැ. So likewise, it will reduce your marks. So that means if you have polite language, it will give you more opportunities. But ගොඩක් අවස්ථාවන් හම්බ වෙනවා සමාජයේ. ඔයා හොඳට කතා කරන ළමයෙක් නම්. Right. We will look at the other column. Bad in impolite language. එහෙනම් හොඳ වගේම මොනවාද අවිනීත වචන පාවිච්චි කරොත් අපිට ලැබෙන bad effects. නරක ප්‍රතිඵල. Bad results මොනවාද? The first one, disturb personal relationships. අපේ පෞද්ගලික සම්බන්ධතාවලට disturb වෙනවා. බාධා වෙනවා. Right? And then become isolated in society. Isolate means the noun is isolation. ISOLATION. Isolation means හුදකලාව, තනිවීම. එහෙනම් මොකද කියන්නේ? Become isolated in society. සමාජයේ තනි වෙනවා. නරක වචන කතා කරන්න ළමයෙක් ඉන්න කැමති නරක වචන කියනවා විතරයි. Right? So if you are using impolite language, you may be isolated. ආ තනි වෙනවා. අනිත් යාළුවාට කැමති නැහැ. The next one, lose friends. ආවෝ කියන යාළුවෝ නැතුව යනවා. නරක වචන කතා කරනකොට නරක වචන කතා කරන්න කැමති යාළුවෝ විතරක් වාට ඉතුරු වෙයි. අනිත් අය ඔක්කොම නැතු වෙනවා. You will lose friends. And then after that, economic loss. What do you mean by economy?
ආර්ථිකය.
Yes. So we will think like, as an example, you are working in an institution or a company. So likewise, right? So when you are talking with each other in that case, in that company or the institution, if your language is very bad or if it is impolite, the other colleagues or sometimes you may even your right the others will not like you, right? Anita වාට කැමති වෙන්නේ office එකේ වුණත්. So sometimes ඔයගලන් වැඩ කරන තැන right administration එකට දැනගත්තොත් ඔයාව job එකෙන් අයින් කළා දාන්නත් පුළුවන්. Right? So that's why economic loss. And after that, lose opportunities to be a leader. ඒක අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලත් කතා කරා නායකයෙක් වෙන්න තියෙන අවස්ථාව නැතුව යන්න පුළුවන්. ප්‍රිෆෙක්ට් කෙනෙක් වෙන එක කතා කරේ අපි. right? ඔයාගේ භාෂාව ඔයාගේ කතා විලාසය හොඳ නැත්නම් so it will not suitable to be a leader. Right? Okay, then after that you may have a poem. So you have the Sinhala version also and then the Tamil one as well as the English one. So I know that you know this poem. So which was written by Guru Muhandiram M.L. Silva. It was taken or adapted by the book Sirit Maldama. Right? So I'm not going to read it, read that poem. So you can read it later. So that then you can get the meaning of that poem itself. Right. Okay. So then children turn the page number 64 in your textbook. Page number 64. Right. So 3.2, let us come to conclusions through respecting the views of others. ඊළඟට කතා කරනවා කොහොමද අනිත් අයගේ views අදහස් වලට ගරු කරමින් අපි ජීවත් වෙන්නේ කියලා. So within inverted commas you have that statement, we cannot live alone in this society. Can you live alone in this society? තනියම ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද? All right. So we can't live in this society alone. Therefore, we have to build up connections with others and communicate with them. එතකොට අපි ජීවත් වෙනකොට අනිත් අයත් එක්ක connection සම්බන්ධතා තියාගන්න ඕනේ. ඒගොල්ලන් එක්ක communicate කතා බහ කරන්න ඕනේ. We have to express our views. අපේ අදහස් ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අදහස් ගන්න ඕනේ. So likewise, we should make the connections with them. When we communicate with each other, we can have good understanding of the other party by listening carefully. අපි කෙනෙක් එක්ක කතා කරනකොට, right? එයාට හොඳින් අහුම්කන් දුන්නොත්, if we listen to him carefully, so we can have a good understanding. අපිට එතකොට එයාව හොඳින් තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. වැඩියෙන් අහුම්කන් දුන්නොත් කෙනෙක් කතා කරනකොට වැඩියෙන් අහුම්කන් දුන්නොත් අපිට එයාව හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. මෙයා මොන වගේ කෙනෙක්ද? Right. It is very important to express one's ideas clearly and let the others to express their own views. When you listen carefully, the speaker will have a pleasant feeling about you. Right? I am teaching. If you listen to me in a careful manner, right? Rivit manam hondata අහගෙන ඉන්නවා. Right? සෞම්‍යත් හොඳට අහගෙන ඉන්නවා. So likewise, I can create a positive feeling about you. ඔයගලන් ගැන මට හොඳ positive feeling එකක් ඇති වෙනවා. අනේ හොඳ ළමෙක් හොඳට අහුම්කන් දෙනවා. Right? It is very important to express one's ideas clearly and let the others to express their own views. When you listen carefully, the speaker will have a pleasant feeling about you. It's possible to come out with opposing ideas when you communicate with each other. Opposing ideas. What do you mean by oppose? Viruddha. Right? But you should have the strength to tolerate them. What do you mean by tolerate? Yeah, Ravitma, what do you mean by tolerate? Sorry? Tolerate? Dinetra? What do you mean by tolerate? No, that is talkative. Tolerate means dara gannawa. මොනවා කතා කරනකොට අනිත් අය මොනවා කිව්වත් ඔයාට පුළුවන් තියෙන නේද දරා ගන්න. Tolerate. The noun form is toleration. T-O-L-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. Toleration. දරා ගැනීම. The other party may have a wider knowledge than you of a particular topic. wider knowledge. Wide means පුළුල්. මොකද ඔයා හොඳට අහුම් ගන්න දෙන්න ඕනේ තියෙන්නේ සමහර විට ඔයාත් එක්ක කතා කරන අනිත් කෙනාට ඔයාට වැඩි දැනුම තියෙන්න පුළුවන් ඒ කතා කරන දේ ගැන. So if you listen to him or her very carefully, so you can gain a good knowledge through his speaking. අලුත් දෙයක් එයාගෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයා නොදන්න දෙයක් එයාට හොඳට අහුම් ගන්න දීලා එයාගෙන් ඔයාට ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right. Then you will be able to create new and useful knowledge through the new knowledge you received. අනිතකොට එයාගෙන් ගත්තු දැනුමත් අරගෙන so you can improve your knowledge. ඔයාගේ දැනුම තවත් වර්ධනය කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා තමයි කියන්නේ හොඳින් අහුම්කම් දෙන්න අඩුවෙන් කතා කරන්න. ඒ නිසානේ අහුම්කම් දෙන්න කන් දෙකකුයි කතා කරන්න එකකටකුයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ. අහන්න දෙකයි කතා කරන්න එකයි. Right? So you should listen to others very carefully. අනිත් අයට හොඳින් අහුම්කම් දෙන්න. Moreover, the exchange of ideas is very important to maintain good connections with others. අනිත් අයට සම්බන්ධකම් තියාගන්න නම් so we should exchange our ideas. නිකම්ම කටවහගෙන ඉඳලා බෑ. තමන්ගේ තියෙන අදහසුත් කියන්න ඕන. එතකොට තමයි හොඳට කතා කරලා අපේ මොන හරි අපි ප්‍රශ්නයක් වුණා කියමු. So when we are in a problematic situation, if you are silent, the other party will blame you and he or she may get the final result. So if you talk with them, if you express your ideas, ඔයාගේ අදහස ඉදිරිපත් කරොත් so you can get a good result. මොනවා හරි ඔයා වැරද්දකට අහු වෙනවා. ක්ලාස් ටීචර් ගෙන්නවලා අහනවා. ඔයා ඔහේ ඉන්නවා මුකුත් කියන්නේ නැතුව. ටීචර් ඔයාටම ගහලා නිකන් ඉන්නවා. But if you express your ideas, and teacher me, so likewise, have a polite language again, right? So you can't use the impolite language. Teacher so likewise, not like that. If you use the polite language and if you express your ideas, she will punish her. Right? You should express your views, but the way you are expressing your views is different. අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි ගැළපෙන විදියට. With pleasant words as well as polite language. Okay. However, misunderstanding will lead to conflicts. අපි කෙනෙක් කියන දේ අහලා misunderstand කරගන්න ඕන. වරදවා තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන. It will create a conflict. What do you mean by conflict? Conflict means ගැටුම, right? එතකොට අපි කියපු එක වෙනත් විදිහකට තේරුම් අරගෙන ගැටුමක් ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අනේ නම් when we express our views, it should be clear and it should be clear and trustworthy. ඒක පිළිගන්න පුළුවන් පැහැදිලි correct idea එකක් තමයි දෙන්නේ. So, however, the conclusions or agreements that come out of discussions lead to personal and social development. Anyway, after we discuss with each other, when we are having, the discussions with each other, so finally, we can come to a good conclusion or a good agreement. And it will lead to personal development as well as social development. The summary is, so very simply we can say, අපේ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න ඕනේ අනිත් අයට හොඳට හුම්කම් දෙමින් අපේ අදහස් ඉදිරිපත් කරමින්. So that's the summary. Although you have a very lengthy passage, the summary is that. We should listen to others very carefully. හොඳින් හුම්කම් දෙන්න ඕනේ. So we should listen to others while we are expressing our views. So that is the summary. Right? So there I have two main, the first one is listening is merely paying attention to a sound. Listening merely paying attention to a sound. Sound here, paying attention. Right? So that is listening. වමනාවෙන් නෙමෙයි නිකන් ඔය අහගෙන ඉන්නවා. Then active listening means, you know, the active ක්‍රියාශීලී, right? Active listening කියන්නේ listening attentively and comprehensively. හොඳ අවධානයෙන් අවබෝධයෙන් අහගෙන ඉන්න එක. Yes. සෞම්‍ය එතකොට ක්ලාස් එකේ ඉන්න ඕනේ listening ද active listening ද?
Active listening.
Active listening. Not listening. බල්ලෙක් බිරුවට, so that is listening. ඒකට active listening ඕනේ. මේ බල්ලෙක් බුරන්නේ, right? දැන් නකුටත් වන බුරනවා ඇති. So likewise, you don't need active listening. So you are listening to it, but to the lesson, you must have an active listening. Right. So then children, a person who listens actively will give one or more of the following responses. එයාගේ ප්‍රතිචාර මෙන්න මේ වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොනවාද? questioning. එයා හොඳට අහගෙන ඉන්නවනම් එයා ප්‍රශ්න අහනවා. හසඳෝ? So that means while the lesson is going on, you can ask the questions if you are listening actively, right? And then answering. If you are in an active listening, then suggesting, yojana karana, teach the suggest karana, yojana karana. After that, approving. Eka approve karanawa, eka anumata karanawa. Right, එහෙම තමයි. Hari. So likewise, you are approving with others' ideas. Okay? So those are the responses that we can get if you are listening to something very actively. So then children, page number 65, again you have a column. The first one is by active listening. අපි active listening කරොත් අපිට මොනවද හම්බ වෙන්නේ? The first one, comprehend messages given correctly. කවුරු හරි දෙන message එක අපිට නිවැරදිව දෙන්න පුළුවන් තව කෙනෙකුට. හොඳින් අහගෙන හිටියොත් විතරයි. නේ රහස් කෝච්චිය that we are doing.
Teacher comprehend කියනකේ තේරුම මොකද්ද?
Comprehensive. Sorry, comprehend.
Yes, teacher.
Comprehend means අවබෝධයෙන්. Comprehension කියන්නේ අවබෝධයෙන්. Right? නේ රහස් කෝච්චිය කරනකොට අපි හොඳට අහුම්ගන් දුන්නොත් final result එක good. Otherwise what will happen? එහෙම නැති වුණොත් අන්තිමට වෙද්දි මොකක් හරි බහුභූතයක් තමයි එළියට එන්නේ. You see? So you have to comprehend messages given correctly. Active listening. හොඳට අහගෙන හිටියොත් අපිට message එක අන්තිම වෙනකම්ම අනිත් අයට හරියට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. The next one, provide responses according to the message. හරියට අහගෙන හිටියොත් තමයි response එක ප්‍රතිචාරය දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? While we are doing the class, මම ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ගෙන්. ඔයගොල්ලන් අහගෙන ඉන්නේ නැහැ. මම right, so මෙහෙම හිතමු. Right, මම අහනවා right. Who is the founder of රාජ්‍ය උසුසල? ඔයගොල්ලන් ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. Right? එතකොට දිනිත් අහගෙන ඉන්නේ නැහැ. පාඩම අහගෙන ඉන්නේ නැහැ හොඳට. Right? She is not active listening. එතකොට එයා අහනවා සෞම්‍යගෙන්, සෞම්‍ය මොකද්ද මේ ටීචර් කිව්වේ? එතකොට සෞම්‍ය පොඩි ජොලි එකටත් එක්ක කියනවා ඔයා මේ ඊයේ කොහොම මොනවද කිව්වේ? නෑ, ඔයාගේ නංගිගේ නම අහන්නේ කියලා අහනවා. එතකොට දිනෙත් මොකද කරන්නේ පැනපු ගමන්? එයාගේ නංගිගේ නම කියනවා. එතකොට රාජ්‍ය උසුසල සොයාගත්ත දිනෙත්ගේ නංගිද? No, right? So you should have active listening. The next one, build up confidence on one's own self and on others. Confidence. Vishwasaya ඇති වෙනවා. They are
Teacher wholesome.
wholesome means good. Wholesome ideas කියලා අපි කතා කරේ. Wholesome. WHOLE, whole. Right? And then after that, opportunities are created to come to agreements. මොකක්කරේ agreement එකකට නිගමනයකට එන්න අපිට opportunity එකක් හම්බ වෙනවා. හොඳට අහුම්කන් දීගෙන ඒකට අදහස් ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා. You see? Then less possibilities for conflicts since conclusions were made by discussions. Less possibility. අඩු හැකියාවක් තමයි හම්බ වෙන්නේ. ගැටුම් ඇති වෙන්න. ගැටුම් ඇති වෙන්න තියෙන අවස්ථාව අඩුයි. ඔයගලන් හොඳින් අහුම්කන් දුන්නොත්. නේ? මොකද හොඳින් අහුම්කන් දුන්නොත් if you listen to others in an attentive way, so you can understand each and everything, so it will not make a conflict. එහෙනම් ගැටුමක් ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ දැන් අපි ඉස්සලා කතා කරේ ඔන්න දැන් දිනෙත්ව කියනවනේ ඔසු සලවාගත්තයාගේ නංගි කියලා. එතකොට මොකද කරන්නේ? දිනෙත්ව සම්මයට බයිනවා. So there is a conflict. And you are MTV so likewise. පස්සේ there is a conflict. ඊට පස්සේ ක්ලාස් එකේ වෙලා එදින ගහ ගන්නවා. conflict එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ if දිනෙත්ව listen to it very attentive manner with an active listening. Right? Okay, then children, we will see by not listening actively. හොඳින් අහගෙන හිටියේ නැත්නම් මොකද වෙන්නේ බලමු. Do not comprehend messages correctly. You have the opposite idea. අර පැත්තේ තියෙන ටික විරුද්ධ විදිහට වෙනවා. එච්චරයි වෙන්නේ. Do not comprehend message correctly. හරියට message එක දෙන්න බෑ. හොඳට අහගෙන හිටියේ. After that, do not provide expected responses. බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන ප්‍රතිචාරය ඔයාට ලබා ගන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයා කෙනෙකුගෙන් ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහනවා. එයා හොඳින් අහගෙන ඉඳලා නැහැ. එතකොට ඔයා හිතන උත්තරේ දෙයා දෙන්නේ. එයාට හිතන මොකක් කර කියලා. So likewise, and then the next one, possibility to build up doubt and lack of confidence. Doubt එකක් සැකයක් ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හොඳින් අහුම්කන් දුන්නේ නැත්නම් right සැකයක් ඇති වෙනවා. මොකක්ද ඒ කිව්වේ? අනේ මට නම් තේරෙන්නේ. So likewise, lack of confidence. හොඳ විශ්වාසිකුත් නැහැ. මොකද හොඳින් අහගෙන හිටියේ නෑනේ. ඇහිච්ච දේ විතරයි. Only listening, not active listening. The next one, being isolated without developing social relationships. අනාපහු isolated. තනි වෙනවා. මොකද සමාජ සම්බන්ධතා හදාගන්න බෑ. හොඳට හුම්කන් දීලා අනිත් පැත්තත් එක්ක ideas ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ so you can't express your ideas. Then opportunities to come to agreements are avoided. Agreement එකකට එන්න තියෙන අවස්ථාව avoid වැළැක්වෙනවා. avoid කියන්නේ වළක්වන. Instead of agreements, problems and conflicts arise. Agreement එකක් වෙනුවට මොකද වෙන්නේ? There is a conflict. ගැටුමක් තමයි ඇති වෙන්නේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොඳට අහගෙන හිටියේ නැත්නම්. Okay, so then children, for active listening, and active listening එකක් කරන්න අපි මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ? Use of clear language. හොඳ active listening එකක් වෙන්න නම් අනිත් ඒ දෙක කියන කෙනා කොහොමද වෙන්න ඕනේ? යාගේ language එක. Clear language. හරිම පැහැදිලිව කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. යාගේ භාෂාව පැහැදිලි වෙන්න ඕනේ. The thing that he or she is expressing, it should be clear. After that, careful listening. ඔයත් හොඳට carefully පරිස්සමෙන් අහගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ. After that, listen with understanding. අනික තමයි අවබෝධයෙන් අහගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ. ඔහේ නිකන් ඇහෙනවට අහගෙන ඉන්නව නෙවෙයි. Right? අවබෝධයෙන් අහගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ. Okay, children. Then you have in this blue color box, qualities to be improved in order to develop interpersonal skills through effective communication. Effective, what do you mean by effective? Yeah? Effective means? Pravitma? What do you mean by effective?
කඩිසර
Hadisara.
productive
Sorry?
productive
Yeah, effective communication means good communication. Very simply, you can tell it as good. Right? හොඳ communication එකක්. හොඳ සංනිවේදනයක් තිබුණොත් අපේ interpersonal skills අපේ අන්තර් පුද්ගල සම්බන්ධතා දියුණු කරගන්න උදව් වෙනවලු මෙන්න මේ qualities. මෙන්න මේ qualities තිබුණොත් හොඳ සංනිවේදනයක් කරහා අපේ අන්තර් පුද්ගල සම්බන්ධතා දියුණු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. The first one is, the first quality is presenting one's ideas clearly and appropriately. අපි කෙනෙක්ගේ අදහස් යොමු කරන්න ඕනේ කොහොමද? Clearly. පැහැදිලිව and appropriately. නිවැරදිව. You see? The next one, tolerate others' ideas. මොනාපහු තියෙනවා අනිත් අයගේ අදහස් දරා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Then appreciate others' ideas. අනිත් අයගේ අදහස් වලට appreciate. ඒවා අගය කරන්න පුළුවන් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. The resolution of conflicting views through effective discussion. හොඳ සාකච්ඡාවකින් conflicting views. ගැටුම් සහිත අවස්ථා අඩු කරගෙන නිගමනයකට එන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. හොඳ quality එකක් තියෙනවා. Then neutralize the mismatching ideas through effective discussion. Mismatching ideas නොගැලපෙන අදහස් එහෙම තිබුණොත් හොඳට සාකච්ඡා කරලා ඒ දේ निराකරණය කරගන්න පුළුවන් quality එක තියෙනවා. They let the others express their own ideas. අනිත් අයගේ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න chance එක දෙන්න ඕනේ. Then try to draw successful conclusions. හොඳ සාර්ථක අවසානයකට එන්න try කරන්න ඕනේ. Then express straightforward ideas at the correct time. නිවැරදි වෙලාවට හොඳ ඍජු අදහස් දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඍජුව කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. Work according to the ideas that came out from discussions. සාකච්ඡා කරලා අදහස් අරගෙන නිගමනයකට ඇවිදින්න අන්නේ දේකට අනුව වැඩ කරන්න ඔයගලන්ට quality එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? Okay. So then children, so here in this tute I gave you. Did you get that tute? You have 20 questions in that tute. Do you have
Yes,
that
madam.
one? Dinitra, do you have that tute? All right, Sandruni, do you have that tute?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so then you have
Yes.
summary in that tute, right? So here the first question, what are the factors which contribute for the development of the necessary qualities of a good citizen? What are the factors? Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Then give me one.
Discipline in speech.
Good
Yeah,
behavior.
discipline in speech. That's the first one we discussed. The second one is
Speech.
Good behavior.
good behavior. Discipline in speech and good behavior. So those are the two answers for that. I think you may have written the answers, right? ලියලාද තියෙන්නේ?
Yes, madam.
Public property.
Okay. Public property.
Yes.
In speech and yes, what's the other one? I told you.
Adopt correct postures and speaking.
Yeah, that's okay. But mainly we can talk about those two. At the first I gave you, that means use of decent language and good behavior. So the postures එනවනේ the good behavior කියන එකටම.
Okay.
Right. And then children, the second question, name a responsibility of a good citizen. හොඳ පුරවැසියෙකුගේ වගකීම clear. Yes.
To protect the resources of the motherland and dedicate oneself to safeguard its dignity.
Yeah, that's the thing. What do you mean by dignity? Pravitma, what is dignity? Dignity means abhimane, right? In responsibility එක මොකක්ද? Protect the resources of the motherland. අපේ motherland එකේ තියෙන සම්පත් ආරක්ෂා කර ගනිමින් dedicate oneself. අපි කැප වෙන්න ඕනෙලු, dedicate වෙන්න ඕනෙලු. මොකක් කරන්නද? To safeguard its dignity. Safeguard means protect. අපේ රටේ අභිමානය ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න අපි කැප වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි අපේ, so that's the main responsibility as a citizen. Citizen කෙනෙක් විදියට අපේ තියෙන ප්‍රධානම වගකීම තමයි ඒක. රටේ තියෙන සම්පත් ප්‍රයෝජනයට ගනිමින් රටේ අභිමානය ඇති කරන්න කැපවීම.
ටීචර් කාසරක් කියන්නකෝ.
Protect the resources of the motherland. Protect the resources of the motherland and dedicate oneself to safeguard its dignity. dignity. Are you okay?
Yes, teacher.
All right. Then you look at the third question there. A good relationship between you and others. ඔයයි අනිත් අය අතර තියෙන හොඳ සම්බන්ධතාවය would have been based on. එහෙම එකක් ඇති වෙන්නේ, හොඳ සම්බන්ධතාවයක් ඇති වෙන්නේ blank.
Polite and pleasant word.
Yeah, this is very simple. Polite and pleasant words. හොඳ විනීත ප්‍රසන්න වචන තිබුණොත් විතරයි ඔයයි අනිත් අයයි අතර හොඳ සම්බන්ධතාවයක් ඇති වෙන්නේ. The answer is polite and pleasant. Right. Next one. They have asked features of polite speech.
Discipline.
Polite
Discipline in
speech.
speech.
Yeah, you have the, yeah, you
Express
have.
clear and correct ideas. Respect others.
Right.
Adopt correct posture when speaking.
Right.
Listen to others and speak patiently.
Language.
Do not misuse language. Yeah. What about the seventh?
Maintain eye contact when speaking.
Yeah, the last one is identify where to talk and where not to talk. So you have that list in your textbook. You can write it later if you have not written. Right? ලියලා නැත්නම් textbook එකේ තියෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ mark කරගන්න features of polite speech කියලා page number 61. So after the class you can write down the note. Go through your textbook. Right?
Okay.
Okay. And then the fifth one. So again you have to fill in the blanks there. We should use the language according to the blank, comma, blank and place. එහෙනම් අපි අපේ language එක භාවිතා කරන්න ඕනේ according to the. according to කියන්නේ අනුව. මොකේට අනුවද?
Situation.
Individual.
According to the individual. So under that case we can tell it like this. According to the person whom we are going to speak. අපි කතා කරන්න යන්නේ කාටද? According to the person whom, W-H-O-M, whom we are going to speak. According to the person whom we are going to speak, comma, situation and place. අපි කතා කරන්නේ යන්නේ කවුරු එක්කද, කොයි අවස්ථාවේදීද, කොතනදීද? අන්න ඒකට අනුව තමයි we should use our language.
Teacher.
Yeah, tell me.
ඒකට answer මොකක්ද?
The last answer.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, situation. Right. And then sixth question. You have to give some examples for under these factors. The first one is according to the situation. එහෙනම් සිටුේෂන් එකට අනුව අපි භාවිතා කරන ලැන්ග්වේජ් එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ කොයි වගේ සිටුේෂන්
Teacher. Reflection. Teacher.
yes tell me
Teacher.
yeah what's the problem
Teacher, ප්‍රශ්නේ උත්තරය ආයෙ පාරක් කියන්නකෝ.
fifth one the answer for the first space is පළවෙනි space එකට පළවෙනි blank එකට answer එක තමයි person whom we are going to speak person whom we are going to speak අපි කතා කරන්න යන්නේ කොයි වගේ පුද්ගලයෙක් එක්කද අනේක ගැන හිතන්න ඕනේ so there you have two blanks right එතන ස්ථාන දෙකක් තියෙනවා the second answer is situation අවස්ථාව මොකක්ද are you okay right okay so the sixth one then give some examples according to the situation
Funerals.
yeah funerals and then one more
Yeah, discussions.
Public speech.
yes after that
Functions.
function
Sports and functions.
Debates and discussions.
Discussions.
right okay I'll give you the answers again the first video is weddings and receptions right and then the second one is later if you like right the third one funerals you have it on the page number 62 then debates and discussions the last one is public speech so if you have not written you can mark it in your textbook and then after that you can write down the answers Sandharuni, did you write it? Sandharuni, did you write it?
Yes.
Oh,
Teacher.
okay. Mindula, what about you? Did you write the answers?
Yes, teacher.
Be careful with your spellings, right?
Okay, teacher.
Okay. All right. And then children, the seventh section, turn the other page, seventh one. So according to the place, and a place එකට අනුව කොහොමද වෙනස් වෙන්නේ?
Religious places.
Yeah, religious places.
Home, school, road, bus, trains.
After that,
Mass communication.
yeah, mass communication. So those are the three examples according to the place. What about the eighth one? According to the individual. මොන පුද්ගලයාගෙන් අපි කතා කරන පුද්ගලයාට අනුව වෙනස් වෙනවා. The first one is
Parents.
Priest.
parents. Yeah.
Peers.
Yeah. Hmm.
Teachers. Elders.
Okay.
Friends. Visitors.
Right. Okay, I'll give you the answers again. The first one is clergyman or priest. What do you mean by clergy? Clergy කියන්නේ කවුද?
පූජකවරු.
Yeah, when you go on buses and all that. So they have make a point a notice reserved for clergy. නේ පූජ්‍ය පක්ෂය සඳහා වෙන් කර ඇත clergy. And then the second one, parents. After that, teachers or elders. And then the last one is friends or visitors. Right. Okay, so then the ninth one is, what are the advantages of using polite language? Polite language එක භාවිතා කරනකොට මොනවද අපිට තියෙන advantages? We have already discussed about all these advantages. Right, අපි කතා කරා.
Receive other respect,
Receive others respect,
good connections,
good connections,
improve leadership qualities,
right? Improve leadership qualities.
Be able to win the hearts of the others.
Yeah, be able to win the hearts of the others. අනිත් අයගේ හිත් දිනා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා මම කිව්වා.
be able to build up good personal contacts,
Right. Then the last,
Get opportunities to gain benefits.
yeah, get more opportunities to gain benefits. Right? I think you may have written all these answers in your tute. ලියලා නේද තියෙන්නේ ගොඩක් කල්නේ දීලා. Right.
Teacher,
Yeah, tell me, Mindula.
I parak එක පොඩක් කියන්න පුළුවන්ද?
Right. The first one is receive others' respect. Receive others' respect. The second one, good connections. Third one, improve leadership qualities. Fourth one, be able to win the hearts of the others. Then the fifth one, be able to build up good personal contacts. The sixth one, get more opportunities to gain benefits.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, right. If you miss some parts, you have that note on page number 63 in your textbook. You have the table there. You can go through that table and write down the answers. Right. Then the next question you see, what are the disadvantages of using impolite language? One of them polite language ke advantages kata karta hai na, then kyanna, what are the disadvantages of using impolite language?
Disturb personal relationships.
Yeah, okay, disturb personal relationships.
become isolated in society,
Become isolated in society.
Lost friends.
That is not loss, that's lose. Right? The noun is loss, the verb is lose. Right? Lose friends. යාළුවන්ව නැතුව යනවා. After that,
economic loss,
that is loss. Yes, Ruikma, that is economic loss. Then,
Lose opportunities to be leader.
lose opportunities to be a leader. Right, so those who miss the answers, you have the answers on page number 63 in your text. You can go through it later. Right. And then question number 11. Who wrote Sirit Maldama?
Guru Muhandiram M.L. Silva,
Guru Muhandiram M.L. Silva. Okay, so when you write down that name, you know that the first letter should be, yeah,
Capital.
yeah, Minoli, you are murmuring. The first letter should be capital. Always I'm telling you, right? The first letter should be, so then you are telling me capital. Even in the class, I'm always asking, when you write down names, the first letter should be capital. Right, so the question number 12, What is very important to maintain good connections with others? අනිත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධතා තියාගන්නකොට මොකක්ද වැඩියෙන් වැදගත් වෙන්නේ?
Good in polite language.
Getting along in this society.
What about the ideas?
Good in polite language.
Yeah, that's okay. But when we maintain good connections with other, what is very important? Yeah, polite language is all right. So more than that, you have something. What about exchange of ideas? අදහස්ව මාරු කරගන්න එක. නේ? Exchange of ideas. So that is හොඳින් අදහස්ව මාරු කරගත්තොත්, so we can maintain good with others to exchange. එතනදී අපිට polite language
One's
එක ඕන වෙනවා.
ideas clearly and let the others to express their own.
That means the 12th one. You are giving me the answer. Yes, Ravitma?
Yes.
Can you tell it again? Yeah.
One express one's ideas clearly and let the others to express their own
That's
views.
okay. That's also correct. The same idea is going on. I gave you the idea very short. Exchange of ideas. Right. The 13th one, blank, will lead to conflicts. On the conflict.
Misunderstanding.
Very good. Means misunderstanding. So that is a one word, right? Misunderstanding. One word.
Teacher, please tell again.
Yeah, misunderstanding. වරදවා තේරුම් ගැනීම. It will lead to conflicts. ඒක ගැටුම් වලට හේතු වෙනවා. Misunderstanding. All right?
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Then, section number 14 now you have. Right? Listening means.
Listening is merely paying attention to.
That is not merrily, my dear. Merrily means happy. Ne? Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Merry means happy. Here you have merely. Right? M-E-R-E-L-Y. Merely paying attention to a sound. Become sound අහගෙන ඉන්නවා.
merely කියන්නේ spelling.
M-E-R-E-L-Y.
M-E-R-E-L-Y. Merely.
Pain. P-A-Y-I-N-G. Pain.
Teacher.
Yes, tell me, Vindula. Okay, merely. M-E-R-E-L-Y. Merely. Paying attention. P-A-Y-I-N-G. Pay attention. කියන අවධානය යොමු කරනවානේ. Paying attention to a sound. නිකන් සද්දයකට අවධානය යොමු කරනවා. ඒක තමයි listening කියන්නේ. Okay. So then after that, question number 15. What is active listening?
Listening attentively and comprehension.
Yes, listening attentively and comprehensively. So I ask you to listen to this lesson, not by listening, by active listening. That is the difference.
Teacher, I parak එක කියන්නකෝ.
Listening listening attentively, ATTENTIVELY, attentively and comprehensively, COMPREHENSIVely. Right. So after that you have question number 16. What are the responses of active listening? Active listening එකක් වෙනකොට මොනවාද තියෙන responses? What the first one?
Questioning,
Yeah,
question,
questioning. Yeah. Then
answering,
answering,
Suggesting,
suggesting,
approving,
approving. You're right. Good. So those are the 4 responses that we can get through active listening. All right.
no teacher.
Still you are writing?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, hurry up. Huh? STING, suggesting. Messages given correctly. අපිට message එක දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Yes. The second one is
provide responses according to the message.
right. Good. අපිට
Build
message එකට අනුව response එක දෙන්න පුළුවන් හරියට අහගෙන හිටියොත්. Then the third one.
build up wholesome social relations.
Yeah, build up wholesome social relationships. හොඳ සමාජ සම්බන්ධතා පවත්වා පුළුවන්. හොඳින් එහුම්කන් දෙන කෙනෙක් නම්. After that, one more.
Build up wholesome social relations.
Yeah, that's okay. We talk about that. One more. What about build up confidence on one's own self and on others? තමන් ගැන අනිත් අය ගැන හොඳ විශ්වාසයක් ඇති වෙනවා. You have these answers in your textbook. I'll give you the page number. Page number 65. In your textbook, you have those answers. Page number 65. Right. So the next one, opportunities are created to come to agreements. Agreement එකට එන්න අවස්ථාව හදාගන්න පුළුවන්. After that, less possibilities for conflicts since conclusions were made by discussions. So very simply, you can write it like this, very shortly. Less possibilities for conflicts. That's enough. Conflict එකක් වෙන්න තියෙන හැකියාව අඩු වෙනවා. If you listen to others actively. Are you all right? Still you are writing?
Yes, teacher.
Say it again, teacher.
All the answers. Mindula? So you have those answers on page number 65 in your textbook.
65.
Yeah, page number 65, the green color table. At the top of the page, you have that table. All right? Mindula?
Yes, teacher. Thank
Okay. Then you can write it later, right? Then what about question number 18? By not listening actively? හරියට හුඟකන් දුන්නේ නැත්නම්?
Do not comprehend messages correctly.
Yeah, the opposite side. අරකෙම අනිත්
Do
පැත්ත.
not provide expected responses.
Responses, yes.
Possibility to build up doubt and lack of
Doubt. The word is doubt, right? සැකය. සැකයක් ඇති වෙනවා, විශ්වාසය නැති වෙනවා. Then, fourth one.
being isolated without developing social relationships.
Yeah, that is isolated, right? ISOLATED, not isolated. Isolated. And the noun is, yeah, the noun is isolation.
Opportunities
Isolated. Opportunities.
to come to agreements are avoided.
Sorry, can you tell it again?
Opportunities to come to
agreements are avoided.
That's okay. Opportunities to come to agreements are avoided. Right? අපිට agreement එකකට එන්න තියෙන chance එක නැතුව යනවා. That is the meaning.
Instead of agreements, problems and conflicts arise.
ගැටුම් ප්‍රශ්න ඇති වෙන්න තියෙන හැකියාව වැඩි. Again, you have those answers on page number 65, that green color table. The right column. Right. So then children, question number 19. For active listening, what do we need? Active listening එකකට අපිට මොනවාද ඕන වෙන්නේ? What's the first one?
Use of clear language.
Careful listening
Clear language.
with understanding.
Yeah,
Understanding.
Listening.
With understanding.
Use of language.
So those are the three answers. Use of clear language. The second one, careful listening. And then the third one, listen with understanding. All right. Shall we discuss the last question? Question number 20. Right?
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Right. So can you read that question, Ravitma? Question number 20. Yeah. Vinitra, can you read the question?
What are the qualities to be improved in order to develop interpersonal skills to thought effective communication?
Yeah. What are the qualities to be improved? අපි වර්ධනය කරගන්න ඕනේ qualities මොනවාද? In order to develop interpersonal skills. අපි අන්තර් සම්බන්ධතා වර්ධනය කරගන්න through effective communication. හොඳ සංනිවේදනයක් හරහා. දැන් අපිට මොනවාද තියෙන්න ඕනේ qualities ටික. What is the first quality?
Tolerate other ideas, presenting one's
Let the
ideas,
other express
and
their own ideas.
get others' ideas,
Okay,
Try
so
to
shall
draw successful conclusions.
conclusions,
let
yeah.
the others express their own ideas,
Right.
try to draw successful
Ideas at the correct time. Work according to the ideas that came out from
Discussions. Okay. So shall I give you the answers in a short manner?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, right. You write down the first one. Right? Are you ready? Okay. You write down the first answer. Present one's ideas. One's means O-N-E apostrophe S. කෙනෙකුගේ. Present one's ideas. Clearly. Appropriately. කෙනෙක්ගේ අදහස් ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනලු පැහැදිලිව සහ නිවැරදිව. අන්න ඒක හොඳ quality එකක්. Okay. You write down the second one. Tolerate. Right. You write down the second one. Tolerate. Now you know the spelling, so tolerate. T-O-L-E-R-A-T-E. Tolerate. Others' ideas. O-T-H-E-R-S apostrophe ma. Others අනිත් අයගේ. Tolerate others' ideas. අනිත් අයගේ අදහස් දරා ගන්න පුළුවන්. C-I-A-T-E. A-P-P-R-E-C-I-A-T-E. Appreciate others' ideas. අනිත් අයගේ අදහස් අගය කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ quality එක අපිට තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Appreciate others' ideas. Right. Next one. Resolution of resolution. R-E-S-O-L-U-T-I-O-N. Resolution of conflicting views. Conflicting views. Conflicting views through THROUGH, through effective discussion. Effective discussion. Right. Neutralize. NEU neutralize the mismatching ideas. නොගැලපෙන අදහස් අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා අපිට හොඳ කමියුනිකේෂන් එකක් තිබුණොත්. Right. So the sixth one, let the others express their own ideas. Express their own ideas. Ravitma, did you write?
Yes, madam. No, madam.
Not yet.
Mama ලියලා ඉවරයි, madam.
Oh. Right, seventh one. Try to draw, D-R-A-W, draw successful conclusion if you have good communication or effective communication. Right. Eighth one, express. Express means giving ideas, right? Express. Prakasha karana, express. Straightforward. What do you mean by straightforward? Yes, Ravitma, you just tell me while others are writing. Straightforward means? What is forward?
ඉස්සරහ.
ඉදිරියට. What is the opposite word of forward?
Backward.
Backward. Then straightforward means? Straight means? Straight hair?
Telling.
Telling.
Me too, right? Yes. So express straightforward ideas. අපේ අදහස් අපි ඍජුව කෙලින් ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා at the correct time. නිවැරදි වෙලාවට. At the correct time. Right. You write down the last one. Number 9. work according to the work according to the work according to the ideas work according to the ideas that come out of that come out of discussions. All right. So have you finished?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So
Yes,
if you
teacher.
all right. So if you miss some parts, again you have those answers on page number 65. That blue color table. All right. Okay. So then, children. So today itself we have discussed up to the page number 65. At first we discussed about the language that we should use නේ අපි මොන විදිහේ භාෂාවක්ද පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ and then what are the features of polite speech එකේ ලක්ෂණ මොනවාද and then how the speech different from place to place and then person to person, right? After that, situation to situation, and then according to the individual. I gave you some examples too. After that, we discuss what are the advantages of polite speech, and then what are the disadvantages of impolite speech, right? And then, yeah, what's the meaning of listening, and then how can you call by active listening? And there are features, what are the responses that we can get through active listening? So likewise, we discussed. So what are the things that we can get by active listening? And then what are the things that we can get by not listening actively? So likewise, we discussed. Right, so do you have any questions? Yeah, do you have any problematic areas that you can't understand?
No, yes,
Yes, Mindula?
no,
What
teacher.
did you tell? No, you are okay, right? That means, children, no need to go through this textbook again. So there you have a lengthy passages in this textbook, right? If you go through this tute, you have the whole summary in this tute, right? So keep it with you. And then in the next class, I will give you the other rest. So before I do the class, I will send them. I will send that tute too. Okay? So do you have any questions that you missed the answer? Let me switch it.
No, teacher.
No, madam.
Okay,
No, teacher.
right,
No,
all right. Okay.
No, teacher.
Dinitra, okay.
No, teacher.
Right. Netum. 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 So we have a little bit to do in this lesson, right? So in the next class, we can finish this lesson. All right. Then after that, in our geography book, we have only one more lesson. Geography වල තව එකයි නේ තියෙන්නේ.
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, අපි civic එකේ ඉතුරු ටික කරලා ඊට පස්සේ geography එක කරමු, right? ළඟ civic එකේ ඉතුරු ටිකටත් I will give you the tute. Tute එක දෙන්නම්. එතකොට ඔය වගේ answers ලියලා තියන්න. In the next class we will meet and discuss the answers. Right? Tute එක කියව ගන්න. So you have the summary in that tute. Nethun, you didn't speak with me. Yes, Nethun? Right?
No, teacher.
Okay, so then shall we stop the class?
Okay, teacher.
Right.
Goodbye, teacher.
Okay, teacher. Goodbye, teacher. Bye, teacher.
Teacher.
Goodbye, teacher.
Right?
Goodbye, teacher.
Right. Stay safe. Listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye.